Maybe you have an AIO, maybe you even have one that has a screen on it, but can yours do this? I don't think so. This is the DeepCool LQ360 Ultra ARGB, and it's one of the most unique AIOs I've seen in a while. Great value, looks, and performance, but it has one downside that is really annoying. Let's not waste any more time and take a good look inside the box. My unboxing skills really need some work though.
World's most professional unboxing.
We get a box with all the different accessories and then the AIO itself. Very nice. Also, props to DeepCool for this being very well packaged. Inside of the accessory box, we get an adjustable backplate that will work with every single Intel CPU socket ever, which is very nice to see. We get a really convenient cable to help daisy chain all three fans on the radiator very easily. Seriously guys, more companies should do stuff like this, instead of having 6 cables for 3 goddamn fans. A bag of AM4/AM5 mounting screws. These are the screws that will go directly into the motherboard. Plastic standoffs for the Intel backplate. I won't show you how to install this AIO on an Intel platform since I don't have one lying around, but it's really simple. The 4 cylinder ones are for older sockets and the other ones are for the newer LGA 1700 and 1851, but they're gonna be used in the exact same way. Then we have some mounting plates for both Intel and AMD. Wonder why they didn't use separate bags, but hey, that's perfectly fine. Screws for mounting the radiator and also for mounting the fans, which made me think at first that the fans weren't pre-installed, but they are. These are just extras, so again, that's nice to see. 2 sets of screws in this bag. The little ones are for mounting the plates onto the pump, and the bigger ones go on top of the plates in the final step of the installation. Can't forget the trusty manual, but we're professionals here. We don't need this noob stuff. Just kidding, these can come in very handy, so do not throw them away. And then finally the AIO itself. Literally the first thing I did was just play around with the detachable display. I genuinely can't get over this. Look how cool this thing is. Dude. Seriously? It's using a very smart system for this to actually work even when rotated with these pins that can snap to the pump in any direction. It's really cool. The radiator looks really clean, the fans also look great, and a billion bonus points for having them already pre-installed. I genuinely can't tell you how much I hate having to screw down fans into radiators myself. The pump has 4 cables, ARGB female for cool lights and more FPS obviously, ARGB male for daisy chaining the ARGB fans from the radiator as well, a PWM connector for the actual fan inside of the pump, and then a USB 2.0 cable for the display. I still just can't get over how fun this thing is to just take off, rotate, and then put it back on. Look at that. It's really satisfying. I don't know what it is about it. I look like a kid getting his first ever toy, but this is seriously cool and useful. Well, in the sense that a lot of people mount their AIOs in a weird orientation, unintentionally most of the time, and then the image on the screen is just not straight. With this one, no matter what, you can just rotate the display and that's it, you're good. Take it off, as easy as that, and then put it back on. And now it's gonna be sideways, give it a second. Oh, there it is. Let's turn it upside down, like this, for example. Hey, this is such a cool party trick, you know? Now, you can do that on most AIOs digitally within the software, but hey, this is still very cool. The pump also has pre-applied thermal paste, so you won't need to add any of your own. But also the cooler doesn't come with any extras, which is very unlike DeepCool. Every single cooler that I've ever had from them came with an extra tube of thermal paste, but again, this one doesn't. That's fine though. I'm really digging the look of the fans too. They look really cool and, well, obviously even better when they're running. Really cool to see braided tubing as well, plus the little cable Velcro combs, if you could even call them that. It makes it really easy to have the tubing look neat and nice inside of your PC. Installation is very simple. I'm going to show you how to do it on AM5 because I don't have an Intel platform lying around. First off, take the pump, a screwdriver, and the AM4, AM5 mounting plates that you can see right here. These are the correct ones, but set them aside for now. Then, from the back with these screws inside of it, put the big ones to the side, we're gonna need them later, but for now, we only care about the very small ones. Take the plastic cover off of the pump, then place the mounting plates like so. Then use 2 screws to secure it to the pump, just like this. Repeat the process for the other side, and that's it. For now though, put the plastic cover back on so you don't ruin the thermal paste or scratch the surface of the cooler. After doing that, take the radiator fans and notice these 3 connections right here. Take the cable from the accessory box and simply connect the fans together like so, and done. It should look just like this. Now it's time to prep the motherboard. You're going to need to take off the stock AM5 CPU brackets, which
I already knew in advance,
and you can tuck them away in your motherboard box in case you ever need them again. Now take these 4 screws and then screw them down by hand in these 4 places. Don't go too hard on these, they screw in very easily, just make sure that they are tight enough. And now it's time to mount the radiator just like so. Come on now, you got this, and there we go, all good. God, I love video editing. In all seriousness, you just need to take the screws from the bag and just mount the AIO on top of your case or wherever else you want to mount it. Then all that's left to do is just mount the pump. Align the mounting plates with the screws on the motherboard and then use these screws from before to screw the pump in. Screw them in by hand first. I suggest you just go in a diagonal pattern, so if you start bottom left, then go top right and so on, and then screw them down tightly with a screwdriver. Camera wasn't in focus here, so sorry for that, my bad. Then just throw the display on and we're almost done. Now it's time for the cables. Plug the pump into the AIO pump header on your motherboard. In case you don't have one, you can simply plug it into the CPU optional or directly into your CPU fan header. Daisy chain the ARGB from the pump to the fans and then plug the final ARGB cable directly into your motherboard. And your fans should go into either CPU fan or CPU optional depending on where you plugged in your pump. Worst case scenario, you can plug the fans into a system fan header, though I don't really recommend you do that. If you do end up doing so, you might have to make a custom fan curve in the BIOS. Then the USB 2.0 cable for the display goes directly into, well, a USB 2.0 header on your motherboard, and we are finally done. Turn your PC on and there you go, awesome looking AIO. But the display isn't going to be on by default, because we're going to need to download and install an app from DeepCool. Head over to this link, you'll find it in the description, download and install the Deep Creative software. Remember at the beginning of the video when I said that there's one incredibly annoying part about all of this? Well, that is because of the app. I genuinely cannot tell you how many times this app just crashed randomly when interacting with it. It takes a working year for it to finally load. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I get this local download failed text, so in case anybody knows, let me know down in the comments. I did some research on it and I just couldn't find anything. And 50% of the time, it just randomly crashes. What? Pretty bad experience with the app. Feel free to scream at me in the comments if I'm doing something wrong. So, besides the fact that this app just crashes all the time whenever you try to do pretty much anything with it. I don't know, it just happens. I don't know if this is Windows incompatibility or some sort of version. I uninstalled the program and reinstalled it quite a few times to make sure that that wasn't a problem. But hey, even so, once the app loads and you don't touch it, it works perfectly fine and it uses very little resources, which is also a very nice thing to see. I, for one, am very adamant about not having a gigantic amount of background processes, so this is good. You cannot change what is displayed on the screen with something like a GIF or some other theme. Everything you see here is what you get on the display. I think that they did a great job with the design of this. The information is crystal clear, it's very well organized, and it also looks really sleek. Even though you can't use something completely custom, I really would have liked to see a few different themes here that you'd be able to just change through the app. I don't know if whatever is displayed on screen is directly dictated by the app, but if it is, maybe they can roll out an update in the future and add some sort of feature like that. I do doubt that that's the case though, because they probably would have done that to begin with. Now, how well does this cooler actually perform? I put it up against another cooler at a very similar price point, the Corsair Nautilus RS360, and a very beefy air cooler that looks like a steam machine, the PC Cooler RZ820. And I tested a few games, starting with Counter-Strike 2, which is a CPU-intensive game, and after about 30 minutes of playing, temperatures were very good. Perfectly stable, with the CPU never really passing 65 degrees. The PC was also completely silent, and one more thing to point out here is that the temperature on the AIO's display was perfectly accurate all the time. Just great stuff. Pretty much equal to the Nautilus 360 RS in performance and ever so slightly beating the RZ820. Goes to show just how good air coolers are, I guess. I tried Cyberpunk as well for around 30 minutes and results were again amazing. The CPU rarely passed 70 degrees with an average of 66, just incredible. And again, results between the three coolers tell the exact same story as before, same performance as the Corsair AIO and just slightly beating the RZ820. Lastly, I obviously had to run a stress test, and I chose Cinebench 2026 multi-core for that, and the results were again pretty much identical. Fantastic performance, completely silent with an average of 65 degrees all of the time. It's just an awesome AIO, people. What more do you want me to say? And again, I'll let this graph speak for itself. Overall, I absolutely love this AIO. In good old DeepCool fashion, you get a very premium product that competes with the highest end stuff out there at a fraction of the price. Easy to install, silent, reliable, sleek looking, and very affordable. Seriously, what more can you ask for? It does have its quirks here and there, mainly with the fact that you can't change the display to any other theme and the app breaks every 5 seconds. The price is going to depend on the country that you live in, but usually it hovers around $125 to $140. Sadly, you're not going to be able to find this product in the US, but it is readily available pretty much everywhere else. I'm going to leave a link in the description to the product page if you want to take an even closer look. I totally recommend this product. DeepCool just doesn't miss. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to have yourselves a very cool and vivero day.